Whew, whatever it is. No, it's a big pike, dude. Holy cow. That's a good pike. Oh, wow. That's a good pike. Nice. Come here, buddy. I'm trying to get the hook out your face. That's a pretty fish right there. That's a Mississippi River, Wisconsin pike. Well, guys, hey, I think you just got me. That is a Mississippi River, backwater, Wisconsin pike right there. And I threw that Cinco in there and he flat out annihilated it as soon as it hit the water. Honestly, the places we've been fishing the last couple days is where I would expect to catch a pike, you know, and all that grass and weeds and stuff. And we've caught a few, you know, little hammer handle snot rockets over there, but this thing is impressive. You know, this is a good size pike. It's not your northern Saskatchewan monster gator pike, but it's definitely, it was exciting. Let me put it to you that way. I've been fishing hard. We've had somewhere between 7 and 10 inches of rain in 2 days. We've struggled to find clean water, and we ended up finding a little park with a little backflow drainage, and we found this dude back here. And yeah, so right out of the gate, Luther and I caught 2 fish real quick, and then he split off and headed up a little creek arm, and then I went down this creek arm and ran into this dude. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, he got me on the getaway. So, you know, when you're from the south, you don't deal with a lot of toothy critters like that, a lot of pike. I deal with muskie in Tennessee, but generally we're armed and ready for them. So he got me on the getaway. If a pike's ever about to slip out of your arms, don't reach for it. That's what I just did. That was the rookie mistake, but he got me good. I'm gonna have to clean this up, throw a little super glue on it, and get back to fishing. Yep, so I'm gonna get this cleaned up, but I'll tell you what, I looked down at my pants leg, and I guess on the way down, he popped me in the shin, because he didn't, yeah, he got me good right there, look at that. So, anyway, be careful when handling northern pike, because they're more dangerous than a thug in the back alley with a switchblade. Good Lord. All right, guys, so normally what we do in a situation like this is we just move on and keep fishing. But I want to take a second to talk to you about safety while you're on the water, especially when you're fishing in an area where there's toothy critters. First and foremost, you should always have water on the boat to stay hydrated, but you always want some clean water with you for irrigation purposes. A lot of backwaters, especially near urban areas, are not the cleanest backwaters. There's runoff, there's human waste, there's bacteria, there's things like that that you want to be, you know, leery of. So obviously you want to irrigate your wound to get it cleaned out. Pike, muskie, and you know, all of the fish in the toothy critter realm, for the most part, have an anticoagulant on their teeth. What happens is when they bite their prey, it allows them to bleed them, and then they can go back and find them should the prey escape. And so they do the same thing when they bite us. And so if you bleed a bit, that gets a lot of that anticoagulant out, but if you can get in there and you can irrigate it, then it takes care of the rest of it, and you can clean that wound out. Bleeding is the best form of protection from infection. It's getting whatever's in there out, so you want to let that blood run for a minute. Like I said, continue to irrigate it. You should always have plenty of fresh water on the boat for the sake of staying hydrated, but it also pulls double duty for being able to irrigate a wound. One of the things about being in a kayak is you can't just push the motor into drive and run back to the boat ramp. We as kayak anglers, you know, should be aware of that. And if you're watching this show and you're not really familiar with that concept, it's something you definitely have to take into account. You got to be self-sufficient. So a couple of things I've always got with me so that I can be self-sufficient in the backwoods is, and these are, you know, multi-purpose, is some good antibacterial hand wipes. First and foremost, you can use them to get off any dirt, debris, or whatever, but they also make a great thing to use to apply the direct pressure. So you're applying the direct pressure to stop the bleeding with something that's antimicrobial. This thing is antibacterial, and it's going to prevent you from introducing additional infection into any type of wound. So again, guys, I know this isn't the most glamorous subject, but I feel like it's important to take the time and talk about this, because if I'm encouraging you to get in a kayak and I'm encouraging you to go on these backwater adventures, I should also be encouraging you to be safe when you're out there, so that you come back home to your family and you don't get out there and put yourself in a dire situation. So I'm going to apply a little bit of direct pressure to this thing, stop the bleeding. I'm going to walk you through the process real quick for the sake of getting the show done, and then I'll fix it after we go on to get back to catching fish. So I said there's a couple things I always bring. And first and foremost, I've always got not one, but usually multiple first aid kits with me. So I've normally got like a little quick, easy kit, you know, that's got your basic stuff in it. It's got your whistle, your compass. It's got some antiseptic wound wipes, which is the same thing as your antibacterial wipes. And it's got some dressing, it's got some gauze, it's got some elastic bandage. So I'm just gonna pop this thing open real quick and give you guys a quick look at it. This is one of those things that's usually below deck. You don't see it. It's one of the great things about kayak fishing. There's a lot of under deck storage, so you can always have everything you need. But this is just a quick safety kit that's got everything you need to fix a wound, not only on yourself, but on someone that you may be fishing with. And then, like I said, this is a quick, easy kit. And then because I always take other anglers with me, I generally have a larger, more complex, more robust medical kit that's designed for irrigating wounds, stopping bleeding, medication instruments. You know, I've got a lot of the wound, burn, blister stuff. And then I've always got something, you know, to start a fire and to signal with. You know, I'm probably a little paranoid. I'm probably a little over you know, prepared in this situation, because I spent 20 years in the Navy. Over half of that was as a search and rescue guy. And so because I'm trained in that background and I have that experience, it's something that I can't get caught, you know, ill prepared for. But just because you don't have that training doesn't mean that you can't be prepared to be safe when you're in the backwoods. So grab yourself a medical kit, watch a couple of videos on how to dress a wound, how to identify dangerous animals in the backcountry, and be prepared, because ultimately coming home safe is the thing that I want you to do more than getting out there and going fishing. So I'm gonna get this all cleaned up. I'm gonna put this back under the deck, and we're gonna head out there and catch some more fish. Actually, guys, I got one more quick tip before we go. The best way to keep your first aid and medical kit stocked is to not discard the package for whatever you use when you use it out in the field. So open up your package. In this case, I've opened up a rather large bandage to cover this shin bite. Take the package, put it back in your kit, close the kit up, and then when you get back, you know exactly what you need to do to re-inventory your kit to keep it prepared for when you're out on the water. Use this thing a couple times, and then out there and you don't have what you need, and you'll find yourself in a world of hurt. So quick little tip for that is to just put the package back in the kit. When you get home, take stock of it, take out what you open, replace that, and you'll keep your emergency medical kit, your first aid, and your CPR kits stocked up and ready when you need them.